Hey, everybody. I think we're live on YouTube. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another midsummer afternoon gun chat instead of the early evening gun chats for me. It's probably early evening where you are, I'm assuming, or late morning for a lot of people. Make sure you check out our MeWe page and our Arms Directory page, and make sure you go there. Links are in the side chat right now. And just so you go, when you go there, you can have affiliate links that support the channel. You do have to buy something, but if you buy something from Palmetto State or someplace like that, Optics Planet, Brownells, Aero Precision, body armor, various body armor, Spartan armor. If you buy something from them anyway, you can support the channel by going through my links. So I'd appreciate that, and trying to really get that up and going. It's been really low lately, to the point where that and Patreon are not going to support the channel, and hopefully you guys are sharing my videos. Um, anyway, I hope everybody is doing well. We did actually go out and finally got a chance to go film some videos, so I'll be editing a bunch of videos, and you'll see videos up the next 4 or 5 weeks. So I'll be back at a video a week for the next 4 or 5 weeks, and then it'll be time to go caribou hunting, just about. So that's that. I hope everybody is doing well. Make sure you put a comment in the chat, and I will shout out your name in just a minute. And if you've never seen one of these before, all you do is, you ask your question about guns, hunting, calibers, gun control, whatever you want to do, and I give you my answers, and they're worth exactly what you pay me for it, unless, of course, you give me a super chat, in which case they're worth less than what you pay me for it. So, anyway, it's just my opinion. Your opinion's just a chance to, talk and ask questions about whatever you guys want to talk about. So, uh, based on last week, I did it a little bit later. We will not go past 3:55 Alaskan time. It's 3:02 Alaskan time now, so that we don't run into Ghost Tactical's live chat. And if you hadn't seen his live podcast, go check him out. He's a great live podcaster. He has a great live show. So anyway, let's shout out the chat. So make sure you get your name in there, and let's see how we are doing. All right. Got Tactical Fud is here. Don't forget to join my MeWe page again. Bamse Moy is here. David Walcott, always faithful here. Chris Heitzman is always here. All right. And Captain Morgan with the first question of the night. There are 14 people watching, so make sure if you want to shout out your name that you get in here. How quiet is the suppressed 22 out of a suppressed 22 LR out of a 1022 compared to like a PCP air rifle? Just a little bit more. I mean, honestly, I'm not that experienced with air rifles, so just a little bit more. And I know that my suppressor is currently not on my 1022. It is on my bolt action, and that is stupid quiet. But yeah, I would say just a little bit more. So that's that. All right, what's up? Alvaro Aguera, nice to see you. David Posey, hello from Tennessee. Go Vols. Evening Eastern time. Yep, I know. Evening Eastern time. It's afternoon for me. 3:04 p.m. right now. So I'm assuming it's 7:04, 7:05 where you are. But I digress. So we got some cool videos coming up soon. Many of y'all asked for that Nosler 125 grain 308 load versus the 130 grain Barnes 308 load, and that's definitely coming up. And then we have some Norma Bond Strike. We got a 308 video on the Norma Bond Strike. We got a 308 video or a 65 PRC video on the Norma Bond Strike, and that's coming up. And then we have some videos, and then we have what else did we do the other day? I can't even remember all the videos we did the other day. I started some 22-250 videos. I'm gonna have to finish them at another time. But is what it is. All right. And oh yeah, the big one that everybody has been wanting to see for years, 6.5 PRC versus 270 Winchester. So we'll have that video come out. So that's that. And I really appreciate everybody, being patient, because I haven't gotten a lot of videos out as quickly as I've wanted to lately. just because I haven't had the time or the partner to go shoot with, because it just makes it so much easier when you have somebody who goes shooting with you that you can film with. My normal guy Jason's been busy, so and he's got a brand new baby, so make sure y'all go support him over on Instagram. I forgot his name, but I'll put it in the chat later or the comments later. But make sure you go support his name. So anyway, yeah. All right, 87 degrees there. A lot of people saying hi to each other. Gorilla HD's in the house. M Gabriel's here. All right, so um man, I'm trying to find some Reloader 17. If anybody lives here in Alaska and you got some Reloader 17 powder, let me know, because I want to load these. This is not the price I paid for them. I want to load these. In case you can't tell what those are. They are lead-free M80A1. I want to load these into 300 Win Mag. I need some Reloader 17 powder. So yes. Okay. So there's a caveat, David. You have to get a user serviceable um, suppressor. A lot of them are not user serviceable. They want the tightest sound possible, so you can't take it apart and clean it yourself. You have to send it back to the factory to have it professionally cleaned, and then they send it back to you. 22 Magnum and 22 250 and 22 LR, 17 HMR are especially 22 LR is very, 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 very dirty. And if you do not have one you can clean yourself, then you're going to be sending it back to the factory every 3 months. All right. Because there'll just be too much lead buildup and debris and powder debris buildup inside the can for it to be effective on your larger calibers. As far as 22 to 50 goes, I have no idea. It could, in theory, cause it to, it may not be rated for 22 to 50. It might not be. If you were looking for something for 22 250, if you had a threaded barrel 22 250 like I do, you need to look at a 30 caliber can that's really rated for um, uh, 300 Win Mag or something like that, so that you have the speeds there. But some of them you can buy different end caps. I think it's the hybrid 46 from Silencer Co. or whatever it is. Some of them you can buy different end caps, and you could put a 22 caliber end cap on it, so it'll still be pretty quiet compared to just a 30 caliber can. That all being said, I only own the 22 suppressor. I do plan on getting another one, but things have come up recently, so it is what it is. All right, good question, and I hope that was a good answer. I do have some affiliate links for Silencer Central. If y'all want to go look those up over on my MeWe page, so make sure you go check that out. If you haven't been noticing, I've been posting a lot of my videos over to another platform lately. A lot of my older videos, because they don't get demonetized there and stuff like that. So I'm, you guys can probably guess the platform. It begins with an Romeo, but that's that. So that's that. Gizzard Gary, what's up? All right. All right. I currently got a Shield 2.09 millimeter and a CZP 10C as my carry guns. Been thinking about picking up a 43X or P365 for a small carry gun with higher capacity than the Shield. Any recommendations? To be honest with you, I'd go with the Shield Plus. It's the same size as your Shield, just a hair thicker. P365 had issues when they first came out. They seem to be okay. G43X is going to be a longer handle and still only get you 10 rounds. The Shield Arms 15 round magazines are hit or miss. You might have some that work great. You might have some that work none. Although Palmetto State's making 15 round magazines, and they seem to be doing okay as well. So I would look at the Shield Plus. Since you already have a Shield, it should fit the same holsters, because the trigger guard and the slide are the same, unless you have a holster that comes way up onto the grip, which you shouldn't. So it should fit your same holsters already. I would look at a Shield Plus and get you 10 to 13 rounds, I think, in that magazine with the extended grip magazine, pinky grip magazine. The 365 is good. Don't get me wrong, but they did have issues when it first came up. I know the XL had issues with overheating if you fire 200, 300, 400 rounds. So there's just a lot you can do there. I wouldn't discount the Ruger LCP Max, LC9 Max. I wouldn't discount that as far as more capacity as well. And there's a lot of good little guns that are in that high capacity um, range right now. So um, yeah, I would do that. So didn't even think about Shield Plus because I didn't know it existed. Yeah, and it has a better trigger than the regular Shield as well. So there you go. All right. So good question. Get your questions in here before I get too busy and can't get to them all. But make sure you got it in there. Thanks for being here, Mr. Smith. All right, I appreciate it. And 43X, yeah, my wife loves her 43X, so um, I love it. I love it too. I don't shoot it particularly well. I shoot it low. I don't know why I'm dropping low, or if it's just the sight picture or something, but I shoot it low pretty badly. They group, they're all right there, but I shoot it about 4 inches low, which is weird. David Walcott, SIG versus FN 10 millimeter. Well, this is a good one. The FN is more reliable. The SIG did not like to feed some of my hand loads. And my hand loads, there was nothing wrong with them in my Glocks. There was nothing wrong with them in this FN. The SIG is much more comfortable. Both of them have very far back slide releases. So my thumb on this type of grip right here is going to ride the slide release, slide stop. There's indentions around it on the FN to prevent that from happening. Very uncomfortable when you're shooting. The back of the grip on the FN, whoever designed that, I mean, they need all of them. He just needs to leave planet Earth because it's not a very good smart design on the back. So for the FN, as far as the grip, it feels awful. I mean, if you buy the FN, you're going to have to immediately go get it stippled properly on an $1,100 gun. If you buy the SIG, you're going to have to immediately get the non-extended slide release, in my opinion. So, is what it is. Shield Plus looks interesting. Yep, thanks. Yeah, I think it's very interesting. Which B, my 43X is always low left. That's crappy trigger and me not being used to it. Yeah. That's the thing, though. Like, I'll shoot my other Glocks just fine. So, I mean, they all have the same crappy trigger. It's a Glock, but I shoot them just fine. But is what it is. Hey, Chuck. Good afternoon. Montana Musings. What's up? How you doing, Montana? All right. So, 43X, always low left. Yep. We've gone over that. If y'all haven't subscribed to people like Gizzard Gary and Montana Musings and Tactical FUD, people that put out videos, make sure you go subscribe to them. Gorilla HD is supposed to be putting out videos soon. I hope you are. Anyway, how's your astronomy channel coming? Have you gotten that together yet, dude? So, all right. I have the FN. There's one thing. Initially, while shooting, the retaining pin was walking out. Gunsmith Loctited it and never had that issue again. So keep an eye. That's good to know. How are CZ shotguns? Excellent. They are very, very excellent. I would buy one in a heartbeat if I had the money and needed another shotgun. The pump is great. It's a little heavy and bulky, though. Their semi-automatic's pretty good. So, yeah, the FN and will eat anything without a jam, even crappy MagTac, even crappy, what is it, Blazer Brass we were shooting the other day, even crappy, blank, 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 blank. It'll still feed it. So, can't complain about that. Your mount died. Ordering another one tonight, actually. Okay, good. I've shot both the 43X and the Shield Plus, and I give it to the Shield Plus. Yeah. The grip is better on the Shield Plus, and the trigger's better on the Shield Plus. I love my Glocks. I'm a Glock fanboy, everybody knows, but they don't innovate when it comes to grip and, style and grip angle and all that kind of stuff. There's not an innovation there. Everything's just a carbon copy of the original Model 17 with maybe a rail and maybe forward slide serrations and maybe different sights and maybe, but everything is there. Yep. Glock 40 worth the extra money versus the Glock Gen 520? Absolutely. Um, the Glock 40, because it is longer and front heavier, just takes the recoil right out of it. I had a friend who was going to buy a G20 threaded barrel and get a compensator so that it would be as long as the G40, and one of those deals. And I'm going to be honest with you, he shot my G40 and bought a G40 because he realized he didn't need it. The compensator might help; it might still be better, but you didn't need it. It didn't really necessarily take the extra recoil he wanted out, of the G20 versus gaining velocity in the G40. So you gain velocity. The only thing that's going to happen in the G40 is if you shoot stuff that's truly 40 Smith and Wesson. We joke and say, "Oh, that's 40 Smith and Wesson numbers." It's really not. Like a 180 grain that's going 1180 or 1150. That's not 40 Smith and Wesson numbers. It could be in like a 6-inch barreled 40 Smith and Wesson or something like that with a hot load. But typically, like I shot some PPU, some Privy Partisan, 10 millimeter full metal jackets, and they were chronographing at 920 as a 180 grain, and they jammed all the time. They just did not have. It was my first time shooting the gun G40, and I realized what was happening because it didn't jam with any other ammunition. In fact, it had the G40 was feeding the hollow points. I'd also bought the PPU hollow points, and they were chronographing like 980, and it fed them just fine. So it was just those full metal jackets were just under enough. So if you have something that's seriously underpowered, the heavy slide is not going to move the same. But you get a better trigger because you have the 4.5-pound disconnect in there. You get the optics mount, which is not on the Gen 420. I know it's on the Gen 520, but it's not on the Gen 420. You get all of these cool different little things that are, definitely worth it. You get the longer barrel, more velocity, um, and you know, it's a better gun, better sight radius, longer sight radius, better picture. So there you go. So the P365 XL is no good for platoon level suppressive fire. No, no, probably not. Would not be my first choice for that. Absolutely not. It was Harry's Holsters. And he has makes great holsters, y'all. Check out my videos on him. I got affiliate links to him as well. Um, but Harry's Holsters, he did when they first came out. The frame seemed to start warping with heat. The end of the frame getting extremely hot. I don't know if they've corrected that problem since or not. Evening, y'all, from the heart of Dixie. Evening. I'm assuming that's South Alabama. Does any Glock in 9mm handle plus P or plus P well? Plus P plus well? Yes. Technically, the manual says don't shoot plus P plus. But I've done it. I'm not saying you should do it, but yeah, pretty much any Glock in 9mm will handle plus P plus well. I might not do it in the G43 43X, but one thing that happened to me in the G43, I had an extended magazine on with its own spring, and that spring is weaker than the factory spring. And I was shooting plus P plus Underwood Extreme penetrators, and occasionally it would jam, and it would jam going up into the chamber because that new magazine spring that held made the round made the magazine hold 8 instead of 6. Right, that new magazine spring wasn't strong enough for the faster moving slide of the plus P plus round. So the plus P plus round made the slide move faster because it's got more pressure, and put more pressure on the blowback and all that jazz. And plus P it never did it with, but with plus P rounds it would do that. So yeah, I would say any Glock can handle them, but you do want to be careful. And Glocks are known for not having the best chamber support. So if you shoot a bunch of them, you might have a case blowout eventually. Don't reload those casings or something like that. So is what it is. All right, Justin, have a good day. I hope you have a good day too. I have not shot a 16-inch barrel on my G40. Does the ATF consider that a rifle? Haha. So you're allowed to turn your pistol into a rifle. Are you allowed to turn your rifle back into a pistol? That's the issue with putting, according to the ATF. Now, the Constitution says you can do whatever you want, but according to the ATF, um, so the question is, does putting your, and they only have it for the Model 20. They don't have it for the Model 40 yet. And to be honest with you, um, I would probably do it in my Model 20. To be honest with you, I wouldn't do it in my Model 40. Is what it is. Locks are blocky with bad triggers, but they just work. When it comes down to a living through a violent encounter of any type, I would want something guaranteed to go bang when I pull the trigger. Exactly. Congratulations. Hey fellas, took my rangefinder to urban areas of Burbank just to see the farthest distance one could see in a typical U.S. city. 450 yards max in any direction. Urban combined environment max 500 yards. Yeah, there you go. Chris, I've still got to test the accuracy out of some of them, but not yet. I had some issues with the new bolt carrier group ripping through brass and leaving brass stuck in the chamber. Apparently, that fail zero bolt carrier group doesn't is not fail zero, so is what it is. I didn't see a bear this year, my friend. All right, I might try to still get one. I didn't really go on big hunts with form. Only one big hunt. I have a G20 with a threaded barrel and comp, way less recoil than the G40, and velocity is actually equal and sometimes faster than the G40. KKM barrels increase velocity by far over stock barrels. Mike, I actually have KKM and the stock barrel and the G40, and I wouldn't say by far. It depends on the load, but typically it's either 20 feet per second, and mine's actually longer than the stock barrel. Mine's a 6.5 versus a 6.0. And Yeah, I would say it's 20 to 60 feet per second on average. Sometimes it's 100 if you got a really lightweight bullet or, stuff like that. But most of the time it's 20 to 60 feet per second average when you go a KKM barrel over the stock Glock barrel. It's not that much difference. Um, but yeah. Uh, Yeah. So in order for velocity to be actually equal to the G40, your KKM barrel has to have tighter lockup, and your it would have to be a longer barrel. Like yours is you got a compensator on it, but you're running a 5.5-inch barrel with tighter lockup and a heavier spring. Yeah, you're probably going to get equal velocity to the G40. That's but if you did the same thing to a G40, you wouldn't get equal velocity. So is what it is. The downside of the G40, the G20 is the G40 will be harder to conceal if that's important to you. That's pretty much the only downside, though. Um, have you seen my hidden hybrid holsters video? Hidden hybrid holsters did me up an inside the waistband holster for the G40, and it works. Now I had to be careful on clothing choices, of course, because my fat ass can't have that big gun. Excuse my language. I can't gotta quit saying that. I can't have that big gun in my pants, but it is what it is. So, that Vanessa Kitty is here. How you doing? You ever seen those Serbian AKs in 308? I have not. Will the G40 ever come out in Gen 5, do you think? Yes, yes, it eventually will. Everything's going to be a Gen 5 for a while. In a while. I've had the same problems in AR-10B bolt carrier groups. Most definitely a gas issue in my case. Okay, that's what Jason was suggesting. But it didn't do it with the other bolt carrier group that I have in my 6.5 Creedmoor. Like, it literally did not do it with that. So Dan Cruz, just weigh 300 pounds like me and you can conceal it. Yeah. Not really. Depends on your pants. Still rocking my well-worn G20, and it is one of the first couple of hundred ever imported and has seen a lot of use. Never felt the need to buy newer tools. It's a beast. There you go. Daniel, God is my judge, says hashtag CZ Life. Yep. Well, they're good guns. I have two CZs now, Daniel, did you know that? So How are you doing, Daniel? Yep. He just had to come in here and put his little 2 cents in since he's a Glock hater. He hates guns that work. Anyway, sorry, Daniel. Trying to convince myself I didn't need another 10 millimeter. Got the Smith and Wesson Performance Center 10 millimeter. It gobbles up 200 grain full metal jacket bullets with AA number 9. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you got it, and it seems to be working. How does it do with hardcast? Flat nose hardcast. Yeah. No, I did not. Yeah. So, yeah, I have a CZ 457 Scout for my son when he turns old enough to shoot. Um, and I just got a CZ 600 Alpha in 6.5 PRC. And let me tell you what, that is an awesome, awesome gun. I'm getting good groups. The only thing wrong with it is they did not bed the stock well, and it's very flimsy stock. So, yep. What's up, Hunter Kirk? If I can get to AK, my hiking and fishing rig will be a FN 510T RMR. Is federal HST 200 grain effective? But no, you do not carry hollow point rounds in the bare woods up here. Hollow point rounds will literally crack open on the bear's skin because their skin and their hide is that tough. I mean, their skin and their hide is like 15 inches of ballistics gel tough. Um, Plus, then you have the bone. No, you carry hard cast. You carry hard cast, or you carry copper solids. Flat nose, so it does a lot of damage, or something like extreme penetrator, where the grooves spinning do a lot of damage. But you don't do any type of expanding bullet whatsoever. Not even that. Not even like a hard soft point. Do you do that or bonded soft point? No, no type of expanding bullet for bear defense up here. My daughter is up in Fairbanks now. Can we say 4570 Henry? Yep. I got one around here somewhere. Don't know where it's at right at the moment, but yeah. We can say 4570 Henry. Oh yeah, it's in the other gun case in there. So I was born in an Alaskan town called Fairbanks. Yep. Fairbanks is actually a nice town. It's actually a pretty big city. It's got like a Costco and 2 Fred Meyer grocery stores that are huge, both huge, and it's got a Sportsman's Warehouse and like a Petco and a Honda dealership. It's not what you would think of a small Alaskan town with 10,000 people. It's got 30 or 40, 50,000 people living in it, something like that. And it's got Eielson Air Force Base nearby. So they're like the first line of defense from the Russians. So I don't like plastic firearms either, but you can't argue that Glocks just plain work. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. There are occasionally problems with Glocks, like there are occasionally problems with Toyotas, like there are occasionally problems with Hondas, like there are occasionally problems with Smith and Wesson revolvers or Ruger revolvers, even. But in general, they work. So Walmart in a safe way too. Yeah, there you go. Fairbanks hot, then cold, and hot again. Yeah, Fairbanks, Alaska has the greatest temperature differential of any city in the United States. Any major city, metropolitan area of anywhere in the United States, because it'll be 95, 100 in the summer, and it'll be negative 70 in the winter. And yeah, it's just crazy bad, crazy bad. I'd like to see my hometown someday. Yeah, there you go. Come on up. I mean, it's a cool little town. So, saw Chook flexing his. Couldn't take it any longer. Had to have one. There you go. I didn't know Chook had a the new MNP performance center. Oh, Fairbanks does not have humidity though. No, not like the South. You've never been to South Louisiana or something like that. It has no humidity. There's some. It's like 20, 40%. It ain't 110% humidity like South Georgia, buddy. Yeah. There you go. 11th Airborne Support Testing Cold Weather Gear. There you go. What's up, Garage Guy? How you doing? Good to see you. Go check out his channel. As long as Daniel's God is my judge, make sure you check out their channels. We've never been to Alaska. Want to come up there for an East Coast guy. Where's a good place to come first time? Love the outdoors and fishing. Um, the first time would be to come to Anchorage, rent a car, stay in a hotel, and then get with me on the different places you can fish and things you can fish for. But you go down to Seward and try snag hooking with everybody. Um, now you go to the Russian River. Now, don't get this idea that you're going to be alone on a river, uh, like fly casting with your fly rod with nobody around. No, we call it combat fishing because if there are fish there, everybody's there. All right, they're you and 400,000 other people fishing from the state that day. If the fish are in, so just be aware of that. You're going to be like the other day at Seward, it was like three people deep in line. When somebody caught a fish, someone would go take their spot, and there was, when they caught a fish, somebody would go take their spot, and it was three people deep in line. I left. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I got one on the line, didn't get skunked, and that's all I got was good for. So if you could only have one 1911 or revolver, 1911 and 10 millimeter. Hey, Liberty Seekers, good to see you. What's up from Long Island? Thank you for stopping by. New Orleans wins the humidity battle. Yeah, that's for dang sure. Louisiana is hot and very humid. Free for all brawl for fish. Yep, only in Alaska. There you go. Now, most people are polite. Most people are like, "Hi, how you doing? Yep, come on in." You know, most people. I've never met an a hole out there fishing. Probably because I am the a hole. But anyway, I've never met one out there fishing. So is what it is. So, but no, 1911 or revolver. I'd have a 1911 and 10 millimeter over any revolver. That being said, I own two revolvers and no 1911 and 10 millimeter. Because you have a 4570 Henry, can you offer any antidotes? Yes. Watch my video on the Ranger Point Precision muzzle brake. Get that. Especially if you already have the threaded barrel. Get that. It makes a huge difference. Um, So just make sure you understand that. So, um, and then make sure your case links are cartridge overall links. It will hang up on some that are really long, like the Grizzly ammo and stuff. Um, but if they are correct according to the loading manuals, it will not hang up. So, I would say make sure that get you the rail system, the excess sight systems rail on top, and make sure you get one of them, and make sure you get uh, some type of forward mounted sight, because then it will be very, very quick, like a scout scope or a red dot. Get it mounted out there off the receiver in front of the receiver on the barrel, and it will be uh pretty awesome. All right. All right. Okay, good question here. Can I drive to Alaska with a firearm? If you take the ferry, yes. You can if it's a direct ferry, it does not stop in Canada. You drive to Washington, you get on the ferry. Yes, I don't even think they search your car. If you drive through Canada, you have to pay a fee, and it depends on the firearms. I think most like hunting rifles and shotguns, they're fine with. No handguns, no AR-15s. Obviously, that's just Canada for you, because the Canadians gave up their gun rights. And So that would be yes. Now you can fly. I mean, you know, between the gas, like it's literally cheaper to get the gas um to Alaska. Um it's pretty to fly than it is to get the gas to Alaska. It's cheaper to fly than it is to get the gas to Alaska. So fly and rent a car while you're here, and then you can carry any firearm here you want to. All right. But you can't drive through Canada. So I'm trying to say, I think, us conservatives should just succeed from the union from Texas to Alaska and let the Canadian provinces come with us and just have one big country from Alaska to Texas. I think that'd be awesome. And then we take over the whole thing when liberalism fails. So there you go. There are no ferries coming north past Haines this year due to staffing shortages. And from Haines, you have to drive through Canada. Yeah. Okay. I'm not a big Vortex fan. Anything you buy in that price range from Leupold is going to be lighter, brighter, and more durable, and less likely to have warranty work. Vortex has a good warranty for a reason. Sometimes you have to use it. Um, and then that being said, Strike Eagle scope on a 6.5 Creedmoor. You can go the 5 to 25, the 3 to 15. Anything in that power range is fine. Hunting around here, if it's just a hunting gun, I like to have a 1 to 10 or a 2 to 10 or 2 to 12 or 2 to 14, 4 to 14. I don't like to go over to the number 4 for my low power because I want to be able to get a bear in the scope if I have to. So just kind of is what it is. Yeah, definitely there. All right. How you doing, Robert? It's nice to see you on the chat. First time I've seen you on the chat. 44 mag versus 454. Ruber Super Alaskan Toklat versus 4-inch 629. Well, the 629 is going to be. I have a 5-inch 629 classic, and it is a much more pleasant to shoot than Chuke's 454 Toklat. That being said, the Toklat is probably a better revolver in 454. Like the best revolver you can get, possibly the best handgun you can get for bear defense in Alaska is the Ruger Toklat in 454. So that's that. Have you tried any of the Arkin Optics scopes? I have not. However, I have Arkin Optics rings on my 6.5 PRC because the scope they sent me was a 34 millimeter tube, and I wasn't going to pay $150 for rings that fit. And those $60, $70 Arkin rings work great. They are fantastic. So, yeah. Heard last night you can take the ferry from Seattle to Juneau and then take a second ferry from Juneau to Valdez. Now that's possible, I guess. I don't know. I've never taken the ferry, so hand load the 10 millimeters. The only way to fly. Yep, there you go. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've made my choice. I had a deal on a 629 and I took it. And Chuk had a good deal on that Ruger Toklat. And just so y'all know, I get to slap Chuk if he ever trades it. It's like a deal we made. It's like slap bet on How I Met Your Mother. I'm the slap bet commissioner. So, do you like Colt revolvers? They're nice. They're nice. They're beautiful. They work. Especially even the new ones. They're nice. Versus other brands, I don't know. I mean, Ruger is the one that can handle the heavy loads. I don't think you can still put them in a Colt. So I would still carry a Ruger for bear protection in Alaska. But as far as other types of shooting, yeah, go right ahead with the 357 Magnum. Take care of business with your 377 or 44 Colt. Like there's no issue in that whatsoever. I got the Ruger Super Red Hawk in 454, not the Toklat Glow. I wanted it short to wear. Oh, so you have the Ruger Super Red Hawk Alaskan. Because the Super Red Hawk is like a 9-inch barrel. The Toklat is the 5.5-inch barrel, and the Alaskan is the 2.75 barrel. So yeah, I would definitely say that's a great when the bear is on top of you gun. The Alaskan. Yeah, I would definitely say that. Agreed. I had the 44 mag version, the Kenai backpacker, and what I found in 44 Magnum may not be true in 454 is that any media I hit with it, ballistics gel, wet newspapers, water jugs, um, anything, especially if I had something hard, that bullet would tumble and start to tumble out different directions, out, down, up, to the side. It didn't matter what bullet I was using unless I had a 180 grain. So there's not enough rifling there to really stabilize the bullet. So that is something you want to consider, because if you haven't gel tested your Ruger Alaskan with ballistics gel, I know with a hard cast bullet, it's going to take like 8 blocks of ballistics gel, but you might want to test it and see if it deflects up. All right. Put a heavy 2x4 or some floor tiling up in front of it, slanted at an angle, and hit it and see if it starts deflecting up and out. Um, and if it does that, then you're not getting good bullet stabilization. So that's one thing you want to be careful about those short barrel Magnum guns. So off target, how are you doing? Hunting in Alaska sounds fun. 2A. Yes, yes, it is. Thank you for joining the chat. I appreciate it. Who Amon, if you can cut the barrel, make it automatic. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but yeah, definitely. Got the Alaskan 480 Ruger. Hope to never have to shoot it again. Yeah, Chuk had that small one. It's actually more comfortable to shoot than the 454. My cameraman Jason has one in has the long barrel, like the 7.5 inch Ruger, Super Red Hawk and 480 Ruger. So we're gonna do some testing on that as well. So top 2 tier brand revolvers, one Ruger, one Smith and Wesson. There you go. Hey everybody, what's up? Trigger Bar Philosopher, how you doing? Go check out his channel. Make sure you subscribe to him. 480 is on my want list. Oh wow, system's down 3 big boats this year. Well, that's not cool. Maybe I should get a job, summer job on the Alaskan ferry. Might do that next year. Best budget 22 bolt action rifle. If you can find the cheap one, it's a Savage Mark II. I have one upstairs. I forgot the exact model. But yeah, I have a Savage Mark II. It's great. It's a dime shooter at 50 yards, and it's got a threaded barrel. It's got a little bit short of a stock, but that doesn't bother me. So yeah, I don't know how the ferry pays. I'd imagine pretty good. They're desperate for people right now. Can a 375 Ruger be loaded out long, high BC bullets for longer distance to target? Um, Possibly. I don't know. It's gonna have slow velocity if it does. I don't know that anybody designs a bullet like that for the 375 diameter. Could be wrong. I just don't know it yet. So loaded it with the H110. Thought my hand got on in flames. That fireball would light up the Alaskan sky. There you go. It's a flamethrower too. Very sad. I just blew up my PSA rock. Well, I'm pretty sure I blew out the sear spring. I think it's a bad lot of ammo from elite ammunition. Yeah, a lot of companies are coming out with 5.7 by 28, and when you come out when a lot of companies start coming out, they're trying to experiment, and sometimes they get a bad lot. Yeah, that stinks. So hopefully you can send it back to PSA and they'll help you out on it. Yeah, I had a Ruger American in 22 Magnum or 22, and I had one in 17H and Mar. I sold them both. Very accurate guns. The 17H Mar only liked the full metal jacket for accuracy, though. I could only get those dime sized groups at 50 yards with the full metal jacket, and then at 100 yards, it just got blown around by the wind. But me and Michael Kaler were out there one day calling 600 and 700 yard shots with it, though. The wind, I was aiming like 9 feet to the left for the wind and stuff like that, just kind of Kentucky windaging it. But we were getting hits where we were aiming. So it it would have hurt somebody, but we were being safe and that kind of thing. Yeah, 16-inch Ruger American 22. And you don't really need to go above a 16-inch barrel for 22. You really don't need it. So one lot got 2,300 feet per second. The next lot got 2,650. Oh yeah, what grain bullet? Yeah. DB, how's it going in South Florida? No hurricanes yet, I assume. So that's a few weeks away for hurricane season. So Just is what it is. If you had to choose one centerfire rifle caliber choice for big game in Alaska, what would be your first choice? You don't have to choose any that you actually own. Um, One rifle just for hunting. You know, so you have hunting in Alaska. You have everything up from Sika black-tailed deer, which are smaller than whitetail, all the way up to moose and brown bear and muskox and buffalo, bison. Um, so I would say, if you're wanting one gun that's going to do all of that, you got to go 338 Winchester Magnum, because it can be loaded with 160 grain for the deer and the caribou, and it can be loaded with 250 grain for the bison and the bull elk or bull moose and stuff like that. So I'd say 338 Winchester Magnum would be kind of your ideal if you're a hand loader. If you're not and you need a greater variety of stuff, you go 300 Winchester Magnum. They are roughly the same power, but not, 300 mag does it with a smaller bullet going faster, and it's a 338's a little bit bigger bullet going slow. So, yeah, 28 grain bullet. Oh, well, that's a big difference. Yeah. Except in eradication, I've always moved to stainless steel guns instead of blue. Did anybody else make a contribution? I don't, because they're flashy, and I'm a big time. My guns need to be SHTF. I just If you wipe them down, blued guns don't rust. I mean, it's just you just wipe them down when you're done. So every time you get a Ruger, they come out with a better version of the same firearm next week. That's true. Thanks for making a decision. Cheers. Lots of guys waffle. LOL. Yeah. Some tough choices, but a good AR-10 and 308 or 30-06 and Ruger M77. There you go. A lot of people got some good choices in that as well. Keeping track of the time here, I'm going to end at 3:55, like I said, so that y'all can go watch Ghost Tacticals chat, and I can go start editing my video this week. 340 Weatherby would fill the bill for me. There you go. 340 Weatherby would also be a very, very same thing. You could load it with 160 grain Barnes TTSX, or you can load it down. You can load it to 250 grain bullets as well. So my problem with the stainless steels I get into, and they remember rather shiny and ended up really baby in it. That's that. Yep. Very, very true. Very, very true. So wipe down my carry every night when I get home. Wipe out the holster and check the screws. Also, there you go. Yeah, I hope my ammo prices come down. It won't happen unless we have 2 out of the 3 Republican-controlled Senate, and the war in Ukraine ends favorably. By favorably, like, I know Ukraine is corrupt, and the U.S. government supporting it is corrupt, but it's still not right of Russia to invade a sovereign neighbor. So until that is peacefully concluded favorably, um, and until we have 2 out of the 3 branches of government, or not branches, but uh, parts of government, the House and the presidency, or the House and the Senate, or the Senate and the presidency. Until we have 2 out of 3 of those with pro-gun people, it's not gonna come down. And Trump's not a pro-gun person. Like, anybody who looks at his record on guns and what he said, cannot vote for him if they're two A supporters. So that's that. How much difference between 16 and 18-inch barrel? Probably about 130 feet per second from the 16-inch all the way up to a 20 or 22-inch. There's a lot of good articles on that I've read in the past. So, it is what it is. Bullet philosophy precedent: heavy and slow or light and fast. Example 4570 or something like a 300 rum off the top of my head. So it depends on what game you're going after. Caribou, I want light and fast. grizzly bear I want heavy and slow, and I wanted to penetrate. So is what it is. Yeah, I will go with my black guns for that. Black guns matter. Yep. Been seeing decent ammo prices. Yeah. I bought 2 boxes of 50 of they were $55 a box of 6.5 PRC today, and they were, you know, good. That's a good price because you know they were $60-$70 a box. So there is that. Invest in lead and brass. Yeah. Go find on lead and brass on Wall Street and go trade it. That's for sure. Or buy it yourself. Yeah, I agree. Nice hanging with you, AB. Beats that midnighter deal all night to pieces. Base out. Good job. Or good to see you, Buster Base. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, it's summertime. I'm a school teacher. I'm going to do this early so that when I'm off the air, my family gets home and I can spend more time with my family. So on Tuesday. So is what it is. Um, my wife takes the kids to work with her, and there's a person who can watch them at work. Um, so that's all y'all need to know about that. But like uh because of that, um, they're not home Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And so hopefully I can do that. How can people support your channel financially? If you scroll all the way to the top of the chat, you'll see I have my MeWe page and my uh, Arms Directory page. All my affiliate links are there. Yes, you do have to buy something for me to get a commission, but I have lots of affiliate links. You can also join my Patreon, which is in the link in the description. Or, if you want to email me, alaskanballistics@gmail.com, I'll send you my other email for PayPal. Or, if you wanted to send bullets, or, the clear gelatin mix that you get on Amazon, if you want to see ballistic shell, that'd be good. Yeah. What to use to de-oil a gun? Um, I don't know, to be honest with you. I've never had to like get all the cosmoline and stuff out. I don't really know. Um, I just wipe it and wipe it and wipe it and wipe it. So that's that. So all that jazz. Well, guys, that's been about 55 minutes, which is where we're going to stop. We want to make sure you get a chance to go over to Ghost Tactical's chat. I don't want to, interfere with his chat on this the night. Make sure you go over to Ghost Tactical and check out his chat. It starts at 4 p.m. Alaskan time. It's 3:53 Alaskan time now. Like I said, we do have some videos coming up. We do have my MeWe page and my Arms Directory page where I post affiliate links. If you're going to buy stuff, you can help support the channel. And make sure everybody in here that has a channel, make sure you go subscribe to them, whether it's, I guess, Hillbilly Scholar. I hope you have a channel, but go subscribe. Trigger Bar Philosopher, Daniel, God is my judge. Make sure you subscribe to him. And is what it is. But make sure that we're all supporting each other, subscribing to each other, watching and sharing all gun videos on YouTube. Make sure everybody in here, if I missed some people, I'm sorry. Montana Musings, a few other people that have channels, I apologize in advance. Gizzard Gary. So make sure you check them out and subscribe to all those people. I'm going to be doing some videos. Like I said, I got some to edit and some to actually, get in there and edit. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So, guys, God bless. Take care. We will see you at the range. Still live.